All right. It's been a little bit since I worked on the car. I did a couple things though. I did eventually get the belt on. It is just comically tight. Like if you're having a trouble, don't worry. I had trouble too. I think it took me 3 hours. I had a couple different guys come look at it and try. It's just really tight. It was routed correctly. Everything, all the pulleys were in the right spot. If you need a reference, I don't know if that helps or not. Um, what I eventually had to do was I got it routed. Uh, I locked the tensioner using that Allen key, like they said to do, and then I routed it from the bottom up. I routed it around the supercharger, and the where I left it off and actually got it on uh, with great effort was that pulley right there. So it's one of the idler pulleys. It's like the upper idler pulley. It sits between the power steering pump and the alternator. So I left it off there. I kind of had it looped up on top, and I had to grab a short screwdriver, maybe like 6 inches long. And I'll post a video for reference on how I kind of did it. But you take a screwdriver, and if you can even see, you kind of route it through the loop you made on the tensioner, and you pick it up, and then you just grab it as hard as you can, and you wrench it over like that. I had to like brace myself against the side of the car to do it. It took a lot of strength. I don't even think I grunt and groan that much when I'm like deadlifting or something at the gym. So it's really tight, but it is doable. And I mean, now that it's on, it still has a little bit of flex, if you can see. Uh, the reason I did the belt like that was I didn't want the hoses to be in the way when I was doing the belt, so I wanted to get the belt out the way. So I did the belt, and now I'm working on, I think they call it pipe number 4. It's basically the pipe that goes into the throttle. It should go into this reducer here. And again, no surprise, I had a problem. I don't know if you all will have this problem, but I have a Chase base power steering setup. Um, and if you can even see it, I don't know. I have a Chase base power steering setup on the pump, and to route this hose, you basically come up through the sway bar and up towards the elbow. But I could get it routed, but the high pressure hose has this hard fitting that is unfortunately blocking me from pivoting the pipe down towards the reducer. So I'm going to have to do some modification or something, or get creative on my power steering or on the hose. The other problem is, even if I can get it pivoted down and inserted in the reducer up top, the flange for the blow-off valve, I mean, there is just not much room in there for the blow-off valve. But again, this is my problem. If you guys have the stock power steering setup, you should be okay. I think you can just bend some of the hoses or the tubing all up in here and make enough room for you. But this is this is kind of where I'm at, and it kind of sucks because I just did the power steering like not more than a few months ago, so now I just have to tear it apart. And I'm very mechanically inept, so I gotta say I'm kind of anxious to do this, but I just also want to get the car done. So you can see where the pipe up here is hitting that hard fitting, and it just I gotta move it this way to have the top come down and into the hose up there. But in case you were curious, I think my options now are to go back to Chase Bays and see if they can supply me with a 90-degree like low profile fitting. This is all AN fittings, so and up there is a 45. So if I get a low profile that threads onto the adapter, I might give me enough room to twist the hose away. Hopefully I don't have to make a new hose. And then the other thing, I don't know what I'm going to do with this though. I don't have any ideas there yet, because that's probably going to be in the way for the blow-off valve too. But I do want to see where the blow-off valve lands before I start making modifications. If I want to be really drastic, I could do a power steering delete. And because this is a second car, it's a good option. The last thing I did, I was getting really annoyed and not getting any progress. So I just started like picking stuff to do. So I did the spark plugs. Those are really easy. I shouldn't have to explain how to do that. If you can go to YouTube anywhere and find a good tutorial. Um, I installed the oil cooler. Didn't put the hoses in yet. This one was pretty easy. It said to pre-assemble the bracket, and then you kind of have to force it down. For me, the fan shroud was kind of in the way for the bracket. See here, it's like pushing the thing forward and into my grill. Which is fine because actually the clearance there, as you can see, is really, really tight. So pushing it forward is fine with me. I did actually have to grind down part of the grill. I don't know, you can probably see where it's like shaven down a little bit on the back of the grill just to give it enough room so that it's not pushing it back into the fan. So I might do it a little more, but this was easy. There's some like rivets essentially on the bottom of these brackets. So you slide the bracket under here, and then you just bolt it in. It's pretty easy. And also, just for reference, this is how far off the hose is. It's pretty far off. So, I don't know. I really want to get the car back on the road. Alright, I got number 4 hose on there. It was not easy. I had to break open the connection at the oil cooler for the power steering and drain it, and then I had to take that 6 AN fitting off. That's the suction or the discharge of the power steering pump. That was what was in the way. It has a 45-degree fitting that was blocking me, so I had to disconnect that, and then I pushed it out of the way. Then I had to come up and take this elbow off here. Take this hose clamp off, pop the elbow out, let it pop up, come down here, grab the number 4 pipe, pull it up, insert it into the reducer. I haven't tightened it down yet. Shove it down, and then shove the elbow back in, and it worked. Now my new problem is, my problem really still remains, is that the blow-off valve was supposed to go right here, and there is just not a whole lot of room. I haven't tried fitting it yet, but I am pretty certain it's not going to fit. The other concern I have is this coolant line coming from I guess it's from the expansion tank. It was sitting up here on the frame rail. If you remember, I had to move it a couple times. It still got in the way for this number 4 hose. So right now it's all twisted under the intercooler pipe, and it's twisted up there too. But it seems to be not pinched anywhere, so I think it'll be all right. But it's late. I'm tired, so I'm gonna go eat dinner and tackle it another day.